On to the last question for today, Jimmy.
Yes, thanks, Fraser. This one came from a Manawatu Standard reader during the week who asks, or who says, the economic effects of the COVID-19 have hit women harder, which is shown through unemployment statistics and the like, yet a lot of the recovery money is going to male-dominated industries such as construction. What will you do to ensure women are not left behind in the coronavirus recovery?
William Wood.
Look, absolutely, I see this on the coal front. I was talking to two women just this week who on their doorstep who've been made redundant or had not had their contracts renewed. So it is a serious issue that we need to be dealing with. The way which we recover out of COVID-19 is, yes, in terms of upskilling and reskilling through the Ministry of Social Development. I was just in Palmerston North, or just at a group in Palmerston North, You Choose, which upskill people into call centre jobs with absolutely no bias towards gender. We need to force and encourage programs which make sure that people, regardless of their abilities, regardless of who they are, regardless of their gender, are able to access and able to support. One of the ways in which we grow out of this is by supporting women and supporting young entrepreneurs to start up their own businesses and to get themselves ahead, because we have so much incredible talent out there amongst, well, all genders, but in particular women. So if we back them by enabling them to access $20,000 of their KiwiSaver, as well as financial advice, that would enable them to start up a business and encourage themselves into work and give them the support which they deserve. So it's a complex issue, but there are a lot of ways which we can support more females into employment in this crisis.
What age were these women with 20,000 in their KiwiSaver?
David Popperwell.
40s and 50s.
Okay, so the kids...
I never really realised that women had such a difficult time. The women that I know that are out there are as tough as old boots. I used to work in the construction industry, and the best concrete people we had were women. It's weird. I don't know why, but that was the way it was. Of course, women can do anything, and they should be encouraged to do it as well. There should be no blocks put in the way of anybody succeeding regardless of gender. We should look at all of those things that are being worked at the moment, the encouragement that's there, and if it's only going to male, that's wrong. It should be turned around. It's got to be very, very fair across all genders as far as being able to earn a living, regarding training is concerned, and creating the dream where they can do whatever they want to do. So in my opinion, if we have legislation, if we have difficulties from money going into the wrong areas, needs to be balanced out, then it should be doing so.
Sharon Lyon.
You know, my concern really goes to men and women. I appreciate the question. I'm concerned that there are a lot of farmers that are, the suicide rate is high, that there's a lot of pressure on men at this time who are responsible for bringing in, not all, of course. I mean, I'm a working woman. But so my concern goes to both, to all parts of society. I do, however, remember the days, and I'm showing my age, where there was a family benefit. And that family benefit really was for women to take care and to special needs for children. That's what it was for. And you were able to get a subsidy on that, and there were various things. So I'm really encouraging of forms of support that actually somehow put money in the hands of women and children through these challenging times.
Anthony Williams.
Well, it's quite an interesting question for me, because I actually work in a female-dominated industry that's actually on the growth. Everybody seems to want a registered nurse at the moment due to some sort of plague called COVID-19. The other thing is that any person who's made redundant or is having financial difficulties in this time should be supported regardless of race, creed or gender. So I'm a little confused as to where, if this money is supposedly going to more masculine dominated or supposedly male dominated industries. In saying that, we will support anybody regardless of their race, their creed and their gender, and we are colour blind, race blind and religious blind. We don't mind who you are, just party vote New Zealand first.
Jack Phillips.
I'll pass this one too.
Jack Phillips is passing on that one. Tiano Tuiono.
Couple of things here. I mean, I think government needs to lead the way. Government departments, community sectors, they should lead the way by making sure that there is pay equity and settlements, working with the unions to make sure that happens. They've got their hands on the levers and they can do that straight away. So that's one thing. The second thing is making sure that money is actually put into some of those settlements. I'm mindful as someone that's from a teaching family. My mother-in-law is an ECE teacher and a few of my sister-in-laws are ECE teachers as well. They are always have been for a very long time underpay as well. So I like what I'm hearing in terms of what is happening there in terms of pay parity as well. The third thing is a lot of these places, a lot of these jobs that we talk about, which are female-dominated industries, these are the industries which are the most climate friendly as well. And so, yes, we should keep moving forward. Thank you.
Tangiuta Kere.
My party acknowledges that gender inequality is an issue, and so one of the targets that we've had over recent times and then beyond some actually is to have 50% women on state sector boards and the like, and in terms of achieving that. But in terms of the question around support for all, I agree with the Greens in the sense that it's around fair pay agreements. It's also around initiatives such as the training incentive allowance, which actually, if you look at that and break that down, is largely targeted at solo parents, which are predominantly women, those that have a disability or those that are carers for those with a disability. And the reality is that we all know the opportunity to access any form of higher education is going to be the best outcome. So that will target women in particular, but in terms of rolling that out, acknowledging that there is a inequality issue and that initiatives need to be put in place to be able to deliver.